Super Mario World. Welcome, this is Dinosaur Land. In this strange land, we will find Princess Toadstool is missing again. Looks like Bowser is at it again. Tomorrow at 2 p.m. German time, 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. or 7 a.m. Central. QLDC judging level. Apologies for the rather unconventional nature of this judging sheet. Despite being invited to judge QLDC, it appears Ampersand has left me out of the Discord group chat and did not include my name on the QLDC rules and submissions page. So I have included my judging here. My criteria was simple. Was the level fun, creative, and was it questionable? With that said, let us begin. Bonsai Mario World. I'm a big fan of the classic Super Mario World enemy Bonsai Bill. I admire the hard platforming, the constant looming threats of danger. Aesthetics are pretty, plus 5 points for the inclusion of Donut Block. Mario is questionable. This is a level that really hits my taste buds. Based off of a hit indie game, this level subverted my expectations going into it. I thoroughly enjoyed the silly nature of the graphics that brought back a sense of childhood joy. This is a fun platforming run-and-gun jumping experience for the whole family. Master of Wet Blanket. Silly name aside, this is one of the most serious entries I've seen someone submit to a QLDC. Not only is the level design clearly coming from a talented designer, but the rather somber nature of the level contrasts from the general rest of the entrance in a QLDC. Felt like a Robert Eggers movie in SMW. Press a button. I like the use of the purple horse in this entry. I recognized her from the hit children's TV show My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. I find she plays like a tank, and I was yearning for her to interact more with the world she was in. I liked her beefy stature. I did not like her constant farting. Koopa Jumps. 1 flying Koopa Jump is a decent number of flying Koopa Jumps. 2 flying Koopa Jumps is not so bad either. But I think 16 flying Koopa Jumps might break the record for the most flying Koopa Jumps I've had to do, and I admire that. This level makes me yearn for more content though, not more flying Koopa Jumps per se, perhaps more ambition. Moving Whole Forest. Finally, I get to play as the Sonic the Hedgehog classic Tails. I know this guy. In typical Tails fashion, I move ass first into combat, scaring away moving holes with Tails' tails. I clip into the first pipe in the level and I'm launched into the earth from which Tails never returns. Tipsy Plumber. This level was completely despicable. Mario would never drink, he would not get drunk, he is a kid's video game character. He would not drink 40s in the back seat of mom's minivan. He would not experience a sexual awakening in Lowe's. This level broke my suspension of disbelief. I did not like it. Bashful Quiz. This one was a toughie. Despite given the proper information, I found myself unable to fully appreciate Bashful Quiz. Perhaps it's because it felt like being in school. I do appreciate QLDC levels that go outside the box of what people expect in an LDC, and the lack of platforming was fun this time, maybe too much reading, however. Roy's Castle. I'm always a fan of the classic bait-and-switch technique where you expect one thing and get another. I found the platforming tight but sweet, like a ham. The aesthetics were simple but nice. The Poltergeist section could have been shorter. Dog Food Hegemony. Nihilistic but compassionate level. Questions the grace of God. Features a magnificent slug shell jump that I particularly enjoyed. Was not a fan of the skinless Mario replacement. You know the dangerous slope. I was excited reading the name of this entry. I do know the dangerous slope. I assumed it meant the steep slopes. After playing this entry, I wish it meant the steep slopes. I didn't think anyone could create a more dread-inducing slope, but you did. I'm excited to talk to the other judges about this entry. Alfred Einstein's theory of relativity. I'm pretty sure that's not how you spell his name. This level is all about speed, which is the street name for amphetamines. The solution to the puzzle being wait the timer out in the white room was kind of a cop-out for a puzzle level, however. Meet and fuck Mushroom Kingdom. Well, I'm almost certain this level will be disqualified. Cavern of the Bowling Ball. I found that Bowser's bowling ball has become a rather trendy sprite in recent years. This level was rather simple. Cute, generally well designed. One thing I noticed was the setup near the beginning with the charging chuck in the bowling ball, which was seemingly influenced by the creation of the universe, of which occurred roughly 13.8 billion years ago. At first, everything was hot. Everything was violent and bright. We called the planet Planck Epoch. This the Planck Epoch. Everything was dense, and then came the Great Expansion, the Big Bang. Cosmic inflation rapidly and what defines space changed. And from this process, the galaxies were born, the stars and the planets and the meteors and the moon. And then the late Pleistocene epoch, ending roughly 12,000 years ago, resulted in the extinction of the vast majority of species beautiful little elephants, many due to human interference. The elephants may warn others of their kind of nearby humans using a low tonal humming technique. We hold on to this fact for a later time when it will become relevant. Now we celebrate the 3 remaining kinds of elephants: the African bush elephant, the cute African forest elephant, and the mighty Asian elephant. Some say the African forest elephant is known to swing from trees. Some consider this God's favorite creature. And from this event, we will jump forward to the production of the film Valley of the Dolls from 1967, directed by Mark Robson, featuring the late Sharon Tate, among others. The film was socially rejected at release, a film critiquing the treatment of women in the entertainment industry, now a cult classic. And we admonish the societal reception of the film at the time, and we recognize the ongoing exploitation of women in the entertainment industry while Hollywood pats itself on the back for the canceling of Harvey Weinstein, which they knew about since the beginning, and we shrug at Roger Ebert's 2-star review of the 1967 film Valley of the Dolls. And we think more about the entertainment industry, and we think more about the state of cinema, and we think about the 2032 remake of Akira Kurosawa's Jidaigeki film Rashomon, starring Dave Bautista and Jennifer Coolidge. And while we like them both, we find the remake culture vapid and derivative of pre-existing works. And we thoroughly enjoy seeing the 2026 Marvel Cinematic Universe film Doctor Strange's Sexy Scary Secret. And then we go back but a few years. In 1966, Simon & Garfunkel released their song 7 O'Clock News Silent Night off of their 3rd studio album Parsley, Sage, Rosemary, and Thyme. Ambitious for the time, this track featured the use of sound collage to feature news reports interlaced with the duo singing Silent Night, as well as the use of left-right audio panning. We are also able to identify exactly which one is Simon and which one is Garfunkel due to visual cues. And we think about music and humanity and the golden ages of music and humanity. We wonder if the golden age was Coltrane or Schoenberg or Little Kim or Meatloaf. We consider which music is the scariest, which we do not like, which music is real. We travel through the history on a malt dinghy. And then we go forward to 1999, year of the first Coachella. The event featured an impressive set list for the time. Beck, Rage Against the Machine, DJ Shadow, Moby, Sibo Matto, and Tool were highlights. And then we go forward where Moby and Tool frontman Maynard James Keenan are dead. And then we go forward to Coachella 2026. Headliners Taylor Swift, Dream Theater, and Bad Bunny are joined by Prince Daddy, and The Hyena, Bad Wet and Bad Boys, It's All Meat, Vomit Launch, Bathtub Shitter, Flagitious Idiosyncrasy, In the Dilapidation, Girls' Generation, and Diva Primal, and Gyoto Monks of Tibet. Neon Trees makes an appearance to play Everybody Talks while Ninja Man performs his hit album Original Front Tooth, Gold Tooth, Gun Pawn, Tooth Don, Gorgon. The event is a success. And then we choose to go backwards, partaking in the conservation restoration of the 1875 painting The Gross Clinic by Thomas Eakins. We watch as the canvas grows brittle in time, and we grow fearful of the general degradation of all forms of art. We attach it to a board and we put it in a cave. We put the art in a cave, and we go back. We think about the invention of the knife, we think about what it does, we think about the shape. And then we go forwards. We are a man laying on the beach in Adelaide, South Australia. It is warm in the air. We hold a piece of paper in our pocket with the words Tamim Shud inscribed. A street performer plays a little ditty a ways out. The clouds are vibrant. And then we go forwards. United States of America, September 2001. The Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City, New Jersey hosted the 75th Miss America pageant on September 22nd, 2001. Presented by the late Tony Danza, Kate Harmon of Oregon was declared Miss America 2002, edging out Abby Rabin of Massachusetts by a hair. And then we're in the present. We think about which of the kinds of Catholics would win in a fight. You discuss this with your audience, maybe even run a poll, or maybe you just mute it to yourself. And then we are in the present. We visit Showman's Rest in Forest Park, Illinois. We witness the Hammond Circus train wreck. We are one of the elephant statues, mourning. And then we learn about the building, the bigger building, the more important fireproofing becomes. That's why today's buildings have asbestos cement walls and even floors containing asbestos. Asbestos contains fire, cannot burn, and holds up after metal and glass have melted down, giving vital time for people to escape. And we think fondly back on the existence of Neopets. And remember Neopets is run by a Scientologist, and remember it a bit less fondly. And we mourn the death of Adobe Flash Player, and we mourn the death of child-friendly spaces on the internet, and remember the Quiggle and feel warm. And then we witness the murder of Oystein Erith, guitarist of the Norwegian black metal band Mayhem. We wonder about the allure of Norwegian black metal scene. We witness his murder in the cold of 1993. We acknowledge he was a bad person killed by a worse person. We choose not to name his murderer. We go old on a park bench. And we discuss the topic of murder is a depressing topic. And so we think back to the mighty elephant for peace and comfort. We remember the fact we learned about the elephant. We think about the knife. And then we go forward in time. We go forward to a time not completely written, a time partially written. We do a Sonic the Hedgehog Mad Libs. You learn the various rules of Mad Libs. You fill out the following words on a note. Adjective 1, 2, 3, 4, noun 1, 2, plural noun 1, number, character name, plural video game enemy, and then you heartily begin. Sonic's abode is very adjective 1 place. At first glance it seems like an adjective 2 cave, but you look closer. You see it's actually a comfortable noun 1. For one, Sonic is a super cozy beanbag noun 2. When he feels like listening to some adjective 3 tunes from the 1980s, Sonic turns on his old school noun 2, pulls out his collection of plural noun 1 and jams out. In addition to great tunes, Sonic has plenty of adjective 4 equipment to keep him busy. There's a dryer that Sonic uses as a treadmill to run number miles a day. Sonic witnesses character name captured, brutally scalped, bisected alive, and then consumed. Sonic tricks several plural video game enemy into drinking liquor laced with opium tincture. And we decided we didn't like where the Mad Libs was going, and we began to question the intent of the QLDC judging level. We began to question the motives of the QLDC judging level, and we choose to get to know the QLDC judging level more, and so begin to ask the QLDC judging level questions about itself. We ask the QLDC judging level where it lives. We learn it lives in the bog. We discover that QLDC judging level is a lesbian. We wonder how this affects the QLDC anonymity rules. We discover the QLDC judging level was born in the year of the rabbit. We discover the QLDC judging level cannot be played by members of the United States law enforcement. We admire getting to know more about the QLDC judging level. We decide to ask whether the QLDC judging level drives on the left side of the street or the right side of the street. We discover the QLDC judging level drives right down the middle. We feel content to move on. And then we watch a YouTube video at a low, respectable volume, and we acknowledge the YouTube video has flashing lights. So perhaps we listen to the audio only. A Japanese man of 76 years old to sing Imagine at karaoke. And then we reflect on what we just saw and we decide whether or not we liked it, and we hold an open discussion about it. And then we explore elsewhere and we look at imagery. California DEAF DG customer my dog is deaf DMV deaf dog verdict accepted. California wet wipe customer promoting my new car detailing product DMV wet verdict denied. California my J team customer my J team DMV, J could stand for joint. Verdict accepted. And then we jump forwards. Robin Thicke has been pronounced dead in a Las Vegas ball fire. And then we jump forward and we think about the man with the skin flayed. We think about all the mental wires protruding from his back and the two men at his sides handling him. We see there in a cement room, both men helping in aprons, one a checkered shirt. We wonder where the man's head is, or where the balloon is, or how it fits inside him, or how he fits outside. And then we go forwards. We watch the Zapruder film off of the screens of a karaoke machine. We sing the lyrics of the Zapruder film. We catch something no one else has seen before in the Zapruder film. And we find we have mixed up the Zapruder film with the Zathura film. And then we jump backwards, and the bowling ball feels so small, and the charging chuck feels so small. And then we think about the entry Tipsy Plumber, and we decide maybe it's okay for Mario to drink. Maybe we were harsh in our judgments. Maybe we imposed our own insecurities and fears. Maybe we don't mind the farting horse of press a button. Maybe we don't mind breeding so much. And then we think about the entry Moving Whole Forest, and we find the existence of a stationary hole now mundane. And we think about the entry Dog Food Hegemony, and we come around in the skinless Mario graphics. And we think about the entry Bashful Quiz, and we think about about when we were young. In school, we think about seeing the agenda written on the chalkboard, and we think about our time in recess. We think about when it would snow, and we would climb in the large snow hills. We think about who's coming for us. We think about the knife. We think about the cave. We think about Moby and Sonic the Hedgehog in the September 2001 Miss America pageant. We think about the Japanese man. We think about the entry QLDC judging level, and we think about how to judge it. We think about if we were even playing it. We recognize we were judging the Questionable Level Design Contest 2023 from smwcentral.net. We wonder if this is a level. We did not get to move much. We recognize no level has been edited of the original Super Mario World, and then we think about our debate about which kind of Catholic is the strongest, and then we think about how much fun we had with the Sonic the Hedgehog Mad Libs, until we stopped having fun with the Sonic the Hedgehog Mad Libs. We think about how fun it was to experience the 76-year-old Japanese man singing Imagine. And we think about the elephants in the Zapruder film and the recent untimely death of Robin Thicke, and we think about asbestos and bathtub shitter and Jennifer Coolidge. We think about the shape, and we think we had a good time, and we think it's time to wrap it up, and we take appreciation in this moment. And we take appreciation and experience a text-based QLDC entry that did not make player read a ULA. We experience the level in first person, and we think about the dangerous slope, and we find a newfound appreciation for the QLDC entry Meat and Fuck Mushroom Kingdom. And we dream of dogs and cats in the skin, and then we affirm ourselves. I have a soul in me, I have a soul in my body, I am a soul in my body, I will be soulful, I will walk ashore, I will attack regardless of target. And then we go back, and then we go forward, and then we go back, and then we go forward, and then we go back, and then we go forward, and the sun rises. And then we get back to work. Pits, this entry is nuts. I love the special effects. You see, that's how you pander to me. Dumbasses.